Hi, everyone. I know it's been a long time. I think it's been like 3 years now, probably, or maybe a little bit less since I've actually posted any content in a hot minute. The reason for that is that I actually left Brown 2.5 years ago, so June of 2022, for a variety of reasons. One is to become a stay-at-home dad. I have a 3-year-old now and a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old's in kindergarten, 3-year-old is in preschool, so I'm having a little bit more time, and so I was actually going to start using my channel a little bit more. I know 99% of you guys signed up because of chemistry related topics, right? That's what most of my channel was, uploading a lot of my old lectures, a lot of the work that I had done, working through problems. Because I'm not really in the academic space anymore, I don't do chemistry. I'm going to be transitioning this channel a bit. So I'll understand if people who are currently subscribed decide that they don't want to be subscribed anymore because they were expecting to have a lot more content. However, I would very much appreciate it if you did stay subscribed and also watch my videos that I'm going to be doing. The big topics really is going to be a lot of topics on nerdy things and hobby things that I have in my life. So, as you can see behind me, right here, right, I really like doing Legos. I really like doing Star Wars. I do a lot of stuff. I'm kind of hiding it right here, right? Painting miniatures, right? You can see right here the Warhammer box right there, the Sisters of Battle, launch box and everything like that. So this channel is going to be focusing on a lot of that stuff. So, going through doing pack rips, which I'm going to be doing later today, which, hopefully you'll watch. There's, the new Star Wars Unlimited set released. Well, technically it releases on Friday, but pre-releases were happening this weekend. And so I was able to pick up a fair amount of boxes. And I was actually going to go through and, apply a bit of a scientific approach to pack openings and kind of go over some of the things that you can do to, understand if you're getting scammed when buying boxes or particularly packs. Because as you can see right here, I bought and I have a scale that goes down to 1 microgram. Very useless for pretty much anyone, right? That on a day-to-day basis, if you're going to use a scale, you really just need to use a kitchen scale, which I also have, right, to measure things out. You don't really need to go down into the microgram range. However, if you're going to be doing pack openings and stuff like that, and you're really looking for specific hits, it's really, really useful. And I'll actually go over that on my live stream that I'm going to be doing later, again, as I had mentioned, right? Brief thing, right? So I did a few, you can see right here, right? I measured out a few packs, and you look through, right? So same. One of them is a little bit heavier, right? And so I'm going to talk about what actually had happened with that pack and what I was able to get out of it. So that's really some of the big things. In terms of life updates, right? I've been working from home. Working from home, I've been a stay-at-home dad, and that's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot about Hot Wheels, building Hot Wheels track, doing all kinds of Hot Wheels stuff there and everything with my kids, and that's been wonderful, doing a lot of painting, doing a lot of arts and crafts and stuff. But now that they're returning to school, I'm going to try and I think reestablish myself a little bit, especially since one of the reasons that I did leave Brown wasn't just because of my kids and stuff like that. I actually health-wise wasn't really doing too great, and it turns out I found out that I actually had thyroid cancer. Luckily, right, you can see the scar right here. It got I lost they removed my right thyroid lobe and the isthmus for it, and also one of my parathyroid glands because of the cancer, right? And so now I'm on hormone replacement because the thyroid actually turns out it's pretty important for a lot of different things. So that's a really a big thing that happened in my life. It happens, you have to adjust in life, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. And because I'm now a stay-at-home dad and I'm focusing a lot more on being available for my kids, being able to do something like this where I can just, on a semi-regular schedule, and I plan on trying to develop, I think, content on a daily basis, maybe do live streams every day, try to get out videos, at least once a week, probably multiple times a week, and work on that progress there. And so I think having you guys continue to follow me on this journey as I've transitioned away from being an academic, from being a chemist to, kind of being a hobby YouTuber, so to say, and kind of enjoying that, I would greatly appreciate your support. Both staying subscribed, getting your friends to subscribe, watching my videos, commenting on my videos, sharing my videos, that would be really great. But again, as I had said, because this is my personal channel, I think I'm going to be doing that pivot. to other content that isn't what probably most of you guys had subscribed for me for. But I do want to thank all of you guys to getting me to over 1K subscribers. Unfortunately, right, because I don't produce new videos all the time and everybody watches all of my videos for very short periods of time, really just trying to get very big snippets out of trying to solve problems, trying to see what the solution is, trying to see how I get to the solutions. The view hours really aren't racking up that I'm actually able to generate any kind of monetization off of them. That's why I'm like, well, I'm going to make some new content, but because I'm not in academia anymore, I'm not writing, exams, I'm not, writing homeworks, I don't have access to any of the tools that I had access to when I was at Brown and I was teaching chemistry, right? I can't read journals, I can't do any of that stuff. There isn't really much of an opportunity for me to kind of go into a lot of that chemistry stuff. Whereas for the hobby stuff, which, is something that I do enjoy and I kind of want to focus on, I think that's where I'm going to really be taking these things in these instances. So again, hopefully you guys are subscribed. Hopefully there's at least some overlap between what I'm going to be doing and what you're interested in. That would be greatly appreciated in those instances. So, just a little bit of a sneak peek. Because I had done, I was at a pre-release for Star Wars Unlimited, right? It was this past weekend, and I got some boxes. And Friday night, I was planning on doing a live stream and actually filming this right here a lot earlier. But because of things related to kids, one of my kids is kind of sick right now, and that's what happens, right? When you have kids, life comes at you where all of a sudden you have to be home, you have to be available, right? And he's just hanging out. And resting and stuff like that in the next room. Maybe you can hear what he's listening to very, very gently in the background. Hopefully not enough to get any kind of copyright strikes. Probably not. But it's still like, he's over there right now. He's just resting. And my other kid's in preschool right now. And everything. And so, but going back to what I was saying, right? And so, Friday night I got too excited. I opened up a few packs, did those measurements beforehand because I was like, well, let's see if my hypothesis that you can actually weigh the packs for Star Wars Unlimited and find out where the hits are is true. And it turns out for showcases they are. And I'll go over that in the video later. But, right, so I packed this very beautiful Obi-Wan Kenobi showcase card, very cool. And so I was planning on going through and doing a whole bunch of pack rips at around noon, right? So I'm gonna, I think every Monday, maybe Monday and Friday, I'll probably do have as a schedule do some lunchtime rips where I'll go through, and for a trading card game, I'll have a bunch of cards or anything like that, and I'll rip them open right on stream so we can see like what are the hits. But at the same time, I think applying some of that mathematical and scientific approach that was such a big part of my life prior to leaving Brown and everything like that, applying that in those cases to my hobbies. And so in this case, right, like weighing out the packs and seeing like, can you still do that? I know in Pokemon, they've done a lot to try and prevent that. I don't know for a lot of other trading card games if that's the case. Right, and so I'm going to be looking at Star Wars Unlimited. I've got Pokemon packs coming, right? Surging Sparks comes out this upcoming Friday. I've got a case of that coming in, so I was going to go through and look at those. Magic the Gathering, right? I've got some bundles and packs and stuff like that for that coming that I'll do on a different Monday. Lorcana, right? The next set is coming out. Azurite Sea, that's going to be coming out end of this month, I believe. So I'm going to be going into that. And so those are some of the things I think I'm going to probably be doing on Mondays, right? Going through methodically, taking an Excel spreadsheet, recording down like what has hits, right? Like what are the big things that we're getting out of it, and seeing like, can that actually correlate to being able to find out where within a case your hits are, and give you a much more informed decision when you're buying singles, both online or at stores, right? Or at shows, seeing are people going to be ripping you off and you're not going to be able to get a hit. In those instances, right? And so kind of trying to get a good sense of that. So that's one thing. Another thing I think I'm going to do, so I really like miniature painting. I've been doing it for a while. I like tabletop, games a lot, right? A big one that I really like playing is Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm going to be going to Las Vegas Open in January, and I'll be there. I'm going to be playing that game. And so if anybody who is going to be there or is interested in those games, right, it would be really cool, right, if you continue to follow this channel or even subscribe if you're seeing this completely separately, and we can chat when we get to LVO. that'll be really fun. And I'll probably, maybe do like an LVO stream from my hotel room or something like that, right? Talking about my experiences there and everything like that. Right, I was at the Nova Open here in Virginia. Well, it was in DC this year, and that was a lot of fun. Played, there in the Marvel Crisis Protocol tournament. Did really bad, but that's also because side note, back in March, I broke both my arms, and that's actually how I found out that I had the cancer. And so you can kind of see the scars here, right? So I broke both my arms. I've got metal plates in this arm. There's a lot of things that happen now that, I just turned 41. My 40th birthday year was pretty intense, with a lot of things. Side notes. But I do plan on going through that, right? I've got, the next Monsters Unleashed box is coming out, or actually I think just came out. I should be getting it soon. I ordered it online, right? And I was planning on going through, right, assembling those guys and then painting them up so that I can use them on the tabletop. And I have a lot of other models that I really need to paint. And I think using this as kind of both a tool to go through, paint, and communicate with the community, but also kind of try to keep myself honest in terms of working towards getting through that pile of shame of gray models in that case. And another thing too, right, so I have I have 3D printers, right, and so probably going over some of that stuff, and also especially in terms of 3D printing my models that I can use both to practice my painting and also then use for other games. Is pretty useful, right? So it's a resin 3D printer. It's pretty cool. I can maybe I'll make a video actually going over the chemistry related to that at a future point that I think will be helpful for people that are interested in chemistry, which I think a lot of my current subscribers really are, but also people that might subscribe in the future when it comes to hobby related stuff, kind of getting a sense of, well, what does actually happen for that process, right? And why is it so different from FDM, right? Filament deposit 3D printing, and what the strengths and weaknesses in those cases are, like going at it from, again, a bit more of a scientific level, since that's what my background is. I don't want to get too scientific with everything, right? But I think like throwing in, some of that personal touch is kind of going to be important in these cases. Now, another thing, right, that I really like to focus on and do is just building other things, and just also I like to play video games, so I might do some streams, right, where I play video game, chat with people. In those cases, most of my stuff is probably going to be happening East Coast time, morning time, / lunchtime, just because, right, I'm not really going to have many opportunities in the afternoons or evenings because of my kids, and right, my family and everything like that, to really be able to do a lot of other streaming outside of that. So, right, if you're, watching any of my streams, right, live, hopefully you're able to go to in, but you can always watch them again, afterwards and stuff like that. And you can always comment, right, on my videos. I'll do my best to always try and be as engaging and communicative as possible in those instances. So, yeah, that's what's going to be the case. So I'm going to take this video now that I'm just shooting right now. I'm going to edit it down. I'm going to upload it so that way anybody who is currently subscribed isn't like completely surprised when all of a sudden there's a notification that pops up that I'm going live, and all of a sudden, right, it's not anything that's chemistry related, because that's what you had signed up for. But this is just how it goes. So thank you very much. Hopefully we'll be able to stay in touch through YouTube as we go through all of this. But yeah,